The Sudanese army has reportedly regained control of parts of South Kordofan state after an offensive against the paramilitary rapid support forces. Weeks of intense fighting across North, West and South Kordofan states have displaced tens of thousands of people. The UN says more than 1,600 civilians fled Kertala in South Kordofan in just one day. Hiba Morgan is in Khartoum for us. So first of all, let's start with the fighting in South Kordofan. Where has that left the government advance this hour?
Well, the army is continuing to expand control over territory in South Kordofan, and that is quite significant because in South Kordofan specifically, it's not just fighting the paramilitary rapid support forces, but also the Sudan's People Liberation Movement North, led by Abdulaziz al-Hilo. Now, al-Hilo has been fighting the Sudanese government since 2011, so he's been a long-time rival of the Sudanese government, and he's now allied with the paramilitary RSF. So there in South Kordofan, the army has to fight both groups to try to regain control of territory. Now, it has been able to get control of several villages in South Kordofan from the SPLM North, which is again allied with the RSF, and they've been able to regain control of territory from the rapid support forces as well. Small villages around the capital and towards the western part of South Kordofan. The army also launched drone strikes on Kauda, that's the stronghold of the SPLM North, led by Abdulaziz al-Hilo. So the army has been trying to make advances in the Kordofan region, trying to secure more grounds from the rapid support forces. But right now, they're also trying to get more ground from the SPLM North, which is allied with the RSF, to make sure that they cement their control and to protect other parts of Kordofan from bombardments and from attacks from the RSF and the SPLMN.
And we understand, Hiba, there's a partial siege imposed on South Kordofan. Where's that leaving the humanitarian situation?
Well, we've seen the RSF for months together with the SPLM North again imposing siege on several cities and towns in South Kordofan, specifically Delenj and Kadugli. Now, in late October, the UN announced that it was able to bring in its first convoy of humanitarian aid to those who've been trapped in those cities. But they say that's not enough. So the situation there is quite dire. We've spoken to people who were able to leave South Kordofan, specifically women, because they say men were not able to leave out of fear of being captured by the RSF or by the SPLMN. And the women say that the situation there is quite dire. They say that there is no medical assistance, that many people are suffering from chronic diseases and are dying because of malnutrition and because of those chronic diseases. So there is a lot of concern over the humanitarian situation in South Kordofan, one of the worst in the country, especially as fighting continues, restricting movement of humanitarian organizations and the delivery of aid. The UN, as World Food Programme, says that it was able to deliver supplies and that some areas in the Kordofan region is now in much better situation after they've been able to deliver assistance. But they say that the needs are still huge, that they still need more access to be able to deliver to those in need. And that includes people in South Kordofan, where right now there is active fighting and where people are getting displaced, but even more are trapped between the RSF and the Sudanese army and the SPLM North, led by Abdulaziz al-Hilo.
Okay, thanks so much to Hiba Morgan there from Khartoum. Don't miss out, get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.